Well, hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at a video of a Leopard 2A6 that has seen better days. Better days indeed. But first, I want to talk about the sponsor of this video. That is the Tankers page. If you want some super sweet merch, go ahead and head on over to manateeops.myshopify.com using code TANKERS for 15% off. Get you some swag. It really helps the channel out, and it's going to help me get down to the Sullivan Cup, which I'm going to talk about in the ads end of this video. Now let's get into it. Today, we are doing a real-time battle damage assessment of a Leopard 2A6 that was seen in Ukraine through drone video that looks like it struck a landmine, caught on fire. This is a screenshot from the video of it. There are a couple of Bradleys nearby, but we're not interested in the Bradleys right now, even though the Bradleys have been putting in work locally in this area of Ukraine. We are going to be talking about this Leopard 2A6. Mind you, I was an Abrams tanker, not a Leopard 2 guy, but I understand how tanks work, what the cost to repair things is, what the level of effort would be. So let's get into it. Starting off, looking at this screenshot, you can see, or this screen grab, you can see walking up to this, the road wheels are in bad shape on the left side. They're melted, they're deformed. The track looks like it's still attached. It's pretty burned up. The left side's got some charring to it. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. And just bear with me as I break it down and talk about different areas of it. Understand that the nomenclature that I may use is going to be a little bit different than perhaps it is for the Leopard 2, but I'm just going to call it like the Commander's Independent Thermal Viewer or the freaking Commander site, whatever. All right, let's go ahead and stop it right there. You can see all the left side. There's a pretty big fire on the left side here. Most of these road wheels are deformed, so that could this thing still be towed? Yeah, probably. Throw another set of track on the left side. Don't worry about this little slat armor up there. It gets bent, whatever. The left side looks like it's got some peppering on the main gun. Could be from shrapnel. I'm not sure it's superficial or whether there's actual some damage to the main gun. All right, let's stop right here. The Commander's Independent Thermal Viewer, or CITV, whatever you guys want to call it. The Commander's Viewer up here has been shot out. I can see that there's various fragmentation to this thing. Yep. Guy's going to walk under the gun tube. Good for him. Some fragmentation on this. We can see that the driver's hatch is... well, first let's talk about the sights here. They're peppered. It looks like this right-hand sight here is out. And driver's hatch looks like it's closed. Looks like it's been shot up by Russian forces after the fact. There's various fragmentation to the turret. Here on the right side, we can see all the road wheels are in relatively good working condition. Looks like the track is in good shape. The what do you call this? The sponson, the little box that y'all have, the stowage box here on the back. Is open with what looks like slave cables hanging out of it. Some various fragmentation on the right side because this thing's in a war zone. Now let me go back to this real quick. If you can see this, there's a larger impact here. You can see the various fragmentation that's around the side of this. It looks like something larger, like a 14.5 or something, smacked the side of this. But it just looks like it took the paint off. It does not look like this penetrated anything. So that's interesting. Some various larger fragmentations. These were heavy enough to really smack the paint off of this thing. So those were hard hitting rounds or pieces of fragmentation, possibly from an artillery shell. And then you've got like a tool bag in there. I think those are slave cables. And then you've got, well, the track looks kind of rough, but whatever. Back end is all charred up. She's toasty. This dude's gonna hop his fat ass up there. Let's go! Hurry up! Okay, so the fans look like they're in good shape. It doesn't look like the burn. It doesn't look like the fire got to the top. Okay, we're gonna go in through the loader's hatch, and there's a few things that we need to look at here. First thing, as we walk up here, as he's walking over here, you can see how charred up the loader's hatch rubber ring in here is. The loader's hatch seal is. I mean, most loader's hatch seals are in terrible condition, but this is extraordinarily charred up because it's crispy. Now, the interior looks in rough shape from this angle. The main gun is all rusted up. The turret is crispy. And there's a lot of juicy stuff in there that if it burns, it's a huge pain in the ass to take all that out and put it back in. There's a lot of wiring, a lot of systems, a lot of hydraulics, things like that. Looks like the crew lived, though. Okay, so here's the TC's hatch. The interior's all burned out over here, all charred. A bunch of systems over here that are going to need to get replaced. It's going to be expensive to do that. The periscope here is shattered. Might have been shot up by Russian forces after the fact, or even during the battle. I don't know. But you can see that the TC's brow pad is pretty much melted. It looks like the optic might still be there, maybe. Man, I really wish the joystick's all jacked. The joystick might actually work. Who knows? Okay, so you can see that the gunner's area is pretty toasted. This is, if they tow this thing back, if they recover it, it's going to be a little while. This thing's going to be out of service for a little bit because they have got to rip out and replace a whole bunch of stuff, potentially. This isn't the best video, but it's probably the best video that I've seen so far looking inside the damn thing just to see how chewed up it is. And dude goes back, you can see the back deck's in relatively good shape. So, there's that video. I'd like to know what y'all's thoughts here are. A lot of you guys have been on Leopard 2A6s, and even Leopard 2A4 tankers. You're going to know a lot more about this thing than I am. But I'd like to know your thoughts on how recoverable or repairable this system is, and what do you think it might take to get this thing back into service? I say probably a good couple months, but I could be wrong. And as for getting down to the Sullivan Cup, I hope to see some of you guys there. It is the U.S. Army's top tank competition, and there are some incredible sponsors: USABO, Thunderbolt. I'm going to be there. I being, me from the Tankers page, but we are a Tankers community, so it's not just me. Everybody who's there is a part of this thing. So looking forward to supporting the team and seeing y'all out there. Treat them rough. Join the tanks.